Okay, welcome to our Thursday night. Hi, Tara. New member Zoom. I am recording this, and I actually did click the button this time, so we won't go to the very end of the Zoom and have me tell you that we couldn't do anything with it. So I just want to go through a couple of things. If you're new, I love that you're here. If you're not new, I still love that you're here. This is such an amazing place to be, and it's such an amazing journey to be on, and these products are absolutely wonderful. If you're here for the first time and you're still a little bit skeptical, it's okay. I was pretty skeptical for the first little bit of our journey too, until I really started seeing some of the amazing results that we were having with the products. And so I just want to give you a few tips. Those of you that have been here, jump in at any point in time. If you have questions, feel free at any point in time to unmute yourselves and you can ask them. I am on my computer, so I can see the chat box this time too. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Put those right in the chat or unmute yourself, like I said. If you have a pen and a paper, I want you to take a couple of seconds and I want you to write down your why. I know that that might seem a little bit crazy to just start right in with your why, but what I mean with that is when somebody messaged you first about Plexus, even if you were skeptical, you had a reason, right? You had some reason why you wanted to be here and why you wanted these products to work for you. So whatever that looked like for you, I want you to write that down. After we get done with this new member Zoom, we're going to jump into our regular Zoom and we're going to talk a lot more about whys. But just really quickly, my biggest thing with Plexus, for those of you that were new, was my little girl. She's 7.5 now, but she was my why. I wanted her to be able to be a normal kid and to be able to do things outside and to not have to worry about her allergies all the time. So whatever it is for you, I want you to write that down. If it's feeling better, if it's having energy, if it's losing a few pounds, whatever that is, I want you to write it down because there are going to be times, I'm going to be honest with you, that you do not feel like taking your products or that you might skip a couple of days or, whatever happens on this journey, you need to always go back to what that why is. And don't make it something that's super, super basic. So if you want to be able to feel better, what does that mean for you? Why do you want to feel better? I wanted my little girl to not have so many problems with her allergies because I wanted her to be able to enjoy life and to be able to do the things that my other two kids were doing. There's always something that's deeper, and there's always an emotional connection to why you are here. And that's what I want you to remember on this journey because it's not always easy. 21 days to form a new habit, right? And we have spent the last decades of our life doing something that maybe was not super beneficial for us. And so I want you to think about that and I want you to write it down and see what that means for you. So keep that in mind all the time. Write it down, keep it in front of you. The next thing I want you guys to realize is that consistency is key in this. Key, key, key. I cannot say it enough times. For those of you that don't know, I actually quit Plexus the first time that I tried this. I signed up as a preferred customer. I was not seeing very many results because I was not consistent with.
We were on a break.
Got it. I was not consistent the very first time that I signed up with this. And so I turned off that backup order. I didn't order for about 6 months. And then I had that same friend came to me and she was like, Brie, you really need to give this an honest shot. You need to do the research and you need to stay consistent. And once I realized that, I was all in. But I promise you, if you are not consistent with these products, they will not work. It's kind of, Chelsea and I were talking about this yesterday. When you sit down on Sunday, for some of you that do meal preps and stuff like that, you cannot eat all of your vegetables on a Sunday night and think it's going to last you all week long. Plexus is not any different. You could not sit down and just take your products one day a week or every 3 or 4 days and think that they're going to work for you. The average woman, this is staggering to me, 528 toxins every single day. That's in our foods, that's in our makeups, in our hair products, just walking outside and breathing polluted air. We need something that is going to combat that every single day. And so these products do just that for us. But you have to be consistent with the products. The person that added you to this page will be able to help you with a meal plan. This is not a diet, but Plexus does not give you the excuse to down 5 sodas a day and drink and eat a cake every chance you get. That's not what Plexus is about. So make sure that you're being consistent with your water intake. Half of your body weight in ounces every single day is what you can strive for. I'll be completely honest. It's something that I still struggle with. I filled this up right before it started, but it's something that I still have to remind myself to do. So know that this is a journey. You will not do everything perfectly when you very first start out. But that's something else that I want you to remember is to be open and honest about your journey with who you signed up with. They cannot help you in the way that you need helped if you are not honest with them about what you are feeling. I had someone that ordered the products, told me on week 2 that she was loving it, loving the follow up, loving everything about it. Checked in with her a couple days later, and she said that she's been having horrible stomach issues. 2 days ago, she was completely fine, and then she admitted that she was not feeling very good with her stomach. She was taking too much too soon, and that's something that can happen. That detox is something that excites me. That is not something that I shy away from. If you are bloated or gassy or just maybe headaches, those are things that can very well happen to you as that bad bacteria is exiting your body. It's a good thing. It means that it's working. It means that your body is starting to detox and starting to heal. And that's a great, great thing to go through. But you have to be very honest and open with who you joined with. When I first started, I had no idea about this stuff. And I was getting headaches every day, just little cluster headaches in the back of my head. But I know now that that was from detox. At one point, I thought that I was going to be done. I didn't really think that it was worth it because I thought that it was, I didn't know what detox was. So be open and honest with the person that you are working with. Take advantage of our team page. That is what it's there for. You're a part of it for a reason. We want that to be some place that you feel like you can always go to ask questions. I was a teacher before I resigned to stay home with my kiddos. And so there's always the teacher part of me that definitely feels like there is no question that is a silly question. If you have a question, ask it. If you're not open to asking it in the team page, start a 3-way chat with your upline. That is something that is an amazing, amazing tool for you guys to be able to use. But make sure that you're being open and honest about what you're going through so we can help you get there. I can't tell you how many times I've done like opportunity meetings, or if I'm out doing a vendor show and somebody will come up and they'll say, oh, I tried that, it didn't work. Well, they tried it for 3 or 4 days. I had one lady that tried it for one day. She couldn't get the original Slim to mix the right way, and so she never tried it again. She never told anybody that she was going through all of that, and she never tried it again. And I felt awful because she has this gold mine sitting there. She had told me all of this host of different things that she was going through, and she had what it took to be able to start that process when she would feel better, but she didn't reach out to anybody, and so it didn't happen. So make sure that you reach out with whatever you're going through. We want to hear about your successes. We want to hear about what's going on. Know that your journey, if you wrote down at the beginning of this, or if you're thinking about your why being losing weight, weight is a symptom. Weight is something that can happen. But I honestly wish that when the Plexus showed up on people's doorsteps, the scales got thrown out. And I wish that because we as a society become so attached to that number that's on that scale, and there's so many other non-scale victories that go along with it, sometimes you're going to have people that end up losing weight pretty quickly. And sometimes you have people that over a 6-month period work on all of those other non-scale victories first. So make sure that you're looking at success in all shapes and forms. Write down some of those things that you're seeing, because that's going to help you a lot along your journey. I want you also to find your shareholders, and here's what I mean by this. You need people that are going to support you along the way. You have this amazing team, you have all of the support that you will need from us, but you also need shareholders and support along the way as well. And so if you have a best friend that you can grab and do this with, do it, because that was one of the most amazing things for me at the beginning of this journey, and for so many other of us, was that we were able to grab hands and just call each other up and be like, hey, this is what happened to me today, or I need help remembering my products. Those shareholders are super important. My husband was one of my biggest shareholders when I started this. I sat him down, at every step, because my why was evolving as I went with this business and with these products. Um, but know that that's something that is so, so important for you. Even if you're skeptical at the beginning, it's always amazing to have somebody that's doing this along with you. I want you to make sure also that you start to get involved with different things. If you hear about a meeting that maybe you can go to that's in your area, if you can just go out to dinner or lunch or something like that and get in touch with a person in face to face, that's also something that's really, really amazing to be able to do, and to be able to talk about those things. And those three-way chats are huge. When you get your products and you've ordered that welcome pack, take a second and open up that box. I hear so often that people have those, what we call success kits, and they just sit on their counter and they don't open them. There are so many amazing tools in that box. Whether or not you decide to share these products, there's still some really amazing things for you in there. These quick start guides, I don't know if you can see that. Um, but these quick start guides are so great with some of the steps right away to get you going with getting you familiar with products. There's a big success guide to read through. It doesn't take very long. It's not like a college course where you have to go through everything, but these success guides are really, really helpful in getting your journey started. And those note cards that are in there that have each of the product information on there, that's a great, great way to get introduced to the products. I know that a lot of us start with that triplex pack. So you start with your ProBio, your cleanse, the glare from my light is bad, and the slim. These three products, I wish that every single person in America could be on daily. They address the systemic inflammation that causes so many of the symptoms that we're feeling. They address your gut bacteria imbalance, and also addressing that magnesium levels that a lot of us need help with, and our blood sugar balance. So the slim, if you're just getting going with this, there are a couple of different schedules, if you will, and you can work, again, that's why it's so important to be open and honest with the person that brought you on this journey with them. But with your slim, in the morning, glare is really bad. Yes, everybody knows what slim looks like, right? In the morning, 30 minutes before your breakfast, if you have regular blood sugar or high blood sugar, 30 minutes before breakfast in the morning, mix this up in 8 to 10 ounces of water, and you just shake it just a little bit. Now, you guys that are just joining, you have the easy job. Slim did not used to be so easy to mix up. It used to clump, but we can mix this in completely cold water now. It's phenomenal. But 30 minutes before breakfast in the morning will get you going. If you have low blood sugar to start with, then we want you to do it 30 minutes before you have lunch, just because this is going to balance out your blood sugar, but at first it takes a little bit for your body to regulate. So if you have low, we want to bring it up. If you have high, of course, we want to be able to drop it down. So 30 minutes before breakfast or 30 minutes before lunch. If you start, blood sugar balance is so linked to your hormone levels, to cholesterol, to your lipids. And so if you start to have headaches, I firmly believe that my detoxing was from the pink drink. With my hormones level, I had 3 kids in 3.5 years. My hormones were all over the place. So I think that that's where a lot of my headaches were coming from. I just pushed through it, and they lasted only about a week. They weren't bad. I used to get migraines, so those little headaches were nothing compared to that. But if you do start to experience that, again, work with the person that you are with, because you can cut these in half. Don't pre-mix it. You don't ever want to pre-mix this and let it sit in your refrigerator or someplace for more than a half an hour, because it starts to break those compounds down in this. So if you If you need to, you can cut this in half. Do half before lunch, half before dinner, or half one day, half the next, and we can work with you on that. When you first start these two products, the ProBio and the Cleanse, we want you to start with one of each before you go to bed the first night. Now, this schedule may change and it may vary, but the reason that we want you to start this way is to start really basic and small. So this ProBio is going to go in and kind of in a really quick nutshell version of this. This ProBio has our antifungal in it. That's what's going to go in, and it's going to chip away at the bad bacteria that you have in your intestines, and it turns into 79 different kinds of gases and toxins. Now imagine if you've never been on an antifungal before and you go, and I've had some people do this even though we've told them one because they thought that they've been on other probiotics before, that they could just jump in with a lot of these, and they take 4 or 5 of them the first night. They wake up the next morning a bloated, gassy mess because all of those toxins that are getting put into their system. Again, it's not something that to be scared of. Detox gets me really excited because I know what's going to end up happening at the end of that period and how amazing you're going to feel when all that bad stuff is flushed from your body. But that's why we start really small with this. So start with one of these of the ProBio for a couple of days, and then we're going to build you up after that. The Bio Cleanse, same thing. I have some people that need 8 of these a day. I have some people that only need 1 or 2. So we're going to work with you to find your levels and what you need of this. At first, we start you with just 1 before you go to bed at night. Some people will never move this from their bedtime routine, and that's completely fine. I usually take mine at night just because that's when I remember it. But if you are going for weight loss, the oxygen compound that is in this, or if you have a lot of digestive issues, the oxygen compound that is in this really helps to break down your food and to help digest it more. So we do have a lot of people that will take 1 before lunch, 1 before dinner, and then their others before bed. That schedule is going to be different for everybody. What I absolutely love about these products is that the most important thing is that you take them and that you get them in a schedule that works for you. So find what that is. If you need to set your alarm for the first couple of days, that's completely fine. I set my 2 products, my ProBio and my Cleanse, are sitting next to my toothbrush every night. One of the things I love about this probiotic is that it doesn't have to be refrigerated. So you can take it anywhere, you can travel with it. You don't, of course, want to leave it in direct heat someplace, but in your houses are completely fine. So I leave mine next to my toothbrush, and then it ensures that I remember it. I have a glass sitting there, I grab some water, I take it right before I go to bed. The probiotic is really good to keep before bed at night. You will see different reports on this and different ways that people take it. I've done a lot of research on this, and I really have found that I love recommending it at night because then that antifungal has a chance to get in and really go to work breaking down that bad bacteria while nothing else is added to your system. So if you imagine if you take this and then 30 minutes later you eat, that antifungal is going to go to work at the bacteria and stuff from our foods that we're putting into our body. So it's really good to keep this one at night. But again, if that's not when it works into your schedule, that's okay. Do what works best for you and you'll find your routine. We always tell people what works best for me does not work best for Sabrina or Chelsea or anybody else that's on this call. So find the things that work for you. Also know that you have a 60-day back money guarantee from every single order. So you do not need to be afraid to try new products. I will be completely honest with you. The edge is not something that I can take. I'm kind of a hyper person to begin with, and I don't do super well with caffeine, but I know that we have so many people on our team that can take 2 of them a day. I cannot do that. That's completely fine. I have other products that I love. But even now, I've been doing this for 2 years, almost 2 years. I have 60 days to be able to return anything that I need. So that's something that's really, really amazing with Plexus. But make sure that no matter what, you listen to your body and listen to yourself. That's the most important thing that I can stress on this journey. And you will find that there are so many people cheering you on along the way, and we want the absolute best for you in this journey. If you have not set up your convenience order, one of the things that I love most about Plexus is that You're going to hear me say that a lot, because you'll find if you're just joining this team that my belief in this company is absolutely unbreakable. I have seen so many things happen with these products. I've seen so many people be able to get well and to be able to experience time freedom. And it's something that I am so, so thankful for our struggles, because they let us here. And I absolutely love what this company has done. But I love that Plexus does not have to pressure us into ordering these products. We do not have to get a monthly order. We do not have to have a monthly minimum. But I will tell you that having that convenience order on is key for your success, because we all know how busy life is, right? I can't tell you, my son is going to be 4 next weekend. My kids reminded me a couple of days ago. I mean, I'm not one that forgets my kids' birthdays, but life is crazy busy. I've had to-do lists for his birthdays for weeks, and all of a sudden it's boom, it's here. The same thing happens with our products. We get down to the end of the bottle, and I've had this happen to so many people, and they call me and they say, I'm on my ProBio, do you have an extra bottle? Well, that's perfect if we live next to each other and it's just a really quick fix. And I love doing that. I always keep extras on hand just for that reason. But I promise you, you don't want to run out of these products. Not because it is something that you get hooked on, but I have found I forgot them one time. I forgot my pink drink when I went on a vacation. And I found really quickly just how much I love the products, because I started to experience how I felt before the products. And that's a place I don't want to go back to. It's not something that I have to take every single day. It's something that I want to take every single day, because I love feeling good. I love being the mom that has the energy. So set that convenience order up. We can explain to you, if you have not had it explained to you, what conditional and unconditional is. I have mine set for an conditional order, and I just go in and order my products when I need to. But I know that that backup order is there. So if I forget to order my products, they're automatically going to ship out to me. If I do order my products and it's over 100 PV, then that conditional backup order is not going to ship out. So that's something that's super amazing that Plexus does for us. It's our choice. But if you're here, you've invested in your journey, and we don't want that to go to waste. I have seen over and over again in the last 20 months where people put the time in, and for the first couple of weeks, they're feeling amazing and they're starting to feel those victories, and they don't have a convenience order on, so they forget to order. And then 2 or 3 months will go by, and then they say, you know what? I do. I felt really good when I was on those products, and I want to be able to start back on again. And of course they can. They never lose those discounts, but it always breaks my heart to see where those people would have been 3, 4 months into it when they were consistent with the products. So that's something that's super important. I encourage everybody, when you get off of this call or you get done watching the live feedback, to go in and check. And if you don't know what that means to have your convenience order on, then I encourage you to reach out to the person that set you up here and make sure that we get those things on for you, and we can help you set them so you get the right products and all of that. But I'm so excited that you guys are here and that you're getting started with this journey, because you'll hear me say it a lot, and you've already heard me say it a lot, but I cannot imagine if I had stayed skeptical, and I cannot imagine had we not been here. You guys are going to hear in a little bit. We'll start talking about whys if you stay on for the next part of our call, but these products have brought so much to my life, and I'm really excited to see where it takes each and every one of you. Does anybody have any questions or anything that you need help with as you're getting going? Feel free to type it in there, or you can more than welcome to unmute yourself. Oh, Samantha, I'm listening. Someone messaged me. I don't see their names on now. Oh, that's privately that they weren't sure how to use it. Samantha was. Yeah, I can't get on the scale either. I had a really negative relationship with it for so long that I've just learned that it's better to judge how I'm feeling and not based on that number. Although I do love, if you get on every couple of weeks and you look at that scale and you can see it moving, and you realize that your worth is not attached to that number, then it's a really, really beautiful thing. It's really amazing. Anybody have any questions? And feel free, you're always more than welcome to private message them afterwards to your upline or in our team page. That's always completely fine. But I really encourage you to stick to your why, to realize why you're here. And on those days that it, you might have a couple of days where you forget your products, and that's okay because it's that whole 21 days to form your new habit. It's something that takes a little bit of time to get into that consistency role, but once you get there, it's something. It's just an absolutely amazing, amazing journey. Thank you all for getting on. I'm going to stop recording for this Zoom and then we'll start recording again for our regulars. And I'm really, really happy that you guys are here and I can't wait to see where this journey takes each one of you.